And welcome back to Play Action Fantasy Football. This is Jonathan here with you guys. I hope you guys are ready for this Week 12 running back rankings we're going over. We got no buys this week, so it's going to be a jam-packed week, that's for sure. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Now, number one, we always have him up there, is going to be Christian McCaffrey at Seattle. It's a great matchup for him. Seattle is one of the worst against runs, and McCaffrey does plenty of that. So he's definitely going to be up there at number one. Look for him to get a ton of points this week. Number two, Travis Etienne at Houston. This is a really good matchup for him, and with the way Trevor Lawrence has been playing, he's been playing a little bit better, but they're relying on Travis Etienne quite a bit in the pass game as well, so he's definitely going to be getting a lot of points there in Houston. He's a solid number two. Number three, we're going to Saquon Barkley at home against the Patriots. It's a good matchup for him, especially with the way this offense is going right now. They have Barkley taking on a very big portion of this offense, so he's getting a lot of carries, especially in the red zone. He's getting a lot of targets, and he's the main thing running this offense, literally. So he's going to be up there at number three. Number four, Rachaad White. Surprisingly, he's going to be up there this week. He's been putting up numbers, a lot of good numbers, but not enough to where I really throw him in my top 5 or top 10 usually. However, at Indiana this week is a great matchup for him. Baker Mayfield in that Tampa Bay offense has been using him a lot in the passing game, in the running game, in the scoring game. So they use him all around. Definitely a good player to have in your lineup there at number 4. Number 5, Derrick Henry at home against Carolina. Doesn't get any better than that, meaning it's going to be a great day for the King. Definitely getting a lot of points there in fantasy at number 5 against a terrible Carolina defense. Number 6, we're going to Breece Hall at home against Miami. This is another one where this offense, this New York offense, they just rely on the running back Breece Hall so much in the pass and the running. It's hard not to have him up there against Miami, who they actually are pretty good on defense against the run, but a lot of that just comes with the territory of Miami being up a lot of points and a lot of teams having to pass it, whatever the case may be. So up there is going to be Breece Hall at number 6. He's definitely getting a lot of points this week. Number 7, Alvin Kamara at Atlanta. Atlanta is a very good rush defense. Very, very good, if not the best or one of the best. So it's going to be a little bit harder for Kamara this week. However, he's going to be putting up points. This is another team where they're not that good of a team, and they really rely on their running back, Alvin Kamara. So he's going to be up there catching passes, getting a lot of runs there at number 7. Number 8, Joe Mixon at home against Pittsburgh. Mixon's always up there in the top 10. It's going to be a harder week for him against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense is not that spectacular. However, with the AFC North divisional games, those are always really close, tight ones. But they're going to be using Mixon quite a bit, especially now that Joe Burrow's hurt. It's really going to open the door for Mixon, I believe. So he's going to be a solid there at number 8. Number 9, Austin Eckler at home against Baltimore. Baltimore does have a good defense. However, this offense, it's pretty much circled around Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler, as we all know, he can do it all. He can catch a lot of passes. He's elusive. He can run the ball. So either way, again, even since he's facing a good team of Baltimore, he's still going to be putting up points there at number 9. Number 10, Josh Jacobs at home against Kansas City. This is definitely not the best matchup for Jacobs. However, this offense likes to use Jacobs. They definitely don't use Zamir White, their other running backs, quite as much at all. So it's going to be pretty much all Jacobs. So I'm going to put him there at number 10. He's always a very good fantasy, reliable scorer. Number 11, Tony Pollard at home against Washington. That's another NFC East rivalry game. And Pollard, he's been having a tough time finding the end zone. However, this is the week that I think he definitely gets in the end zone. We'll see how much points he gets total, but he's definitely very high up there at number 11. And then number 12, that brings me to another high-scoring running back, Raheem Mostert at the New York Jets. New York Jets defense sucks, and Mostert, he's heavily involved in that Miami high-powered offense. Now, the thing is Achane, he's probably coming back this week. So Mostert is going to be getting a little bit more limited carries. So I'm going to put him there at number 12 just to get a good amount of points, but nothing too crazy. Number 13, Isaiah Pacheco at Las Vegas. It's a great matchup for him and the Chiefs, especially there with their running back. So he's going to have a good day. I know he started off very strong this year, and the past few weeks he's dipped down a little bit, but against Las Vegas it's going to be a great matchup for him, and look for him to be putting up points. Number 14, Brian Robinson at Dallas. This is not a very good matchup for the Commanders. Dallas has a very good defense, especially against the run, so I would be cautious with this, but Brian Robinson, he's a big part of that Commanders offense. He's been putting up points as of late, and he's been putting up top 5, top 10 running back fantasy points this year, so really it's just hard not to put him up there. He's going to be there at 14. Number 15, we're going to DeAndre Swift at home against Buffalo. It looks like Swift's role has gone down just a tiny bit as his stats just aren't quite like they were in the beginning of the season. Now, Kenneth Gainwell and Rashad Penny are starting to get in there a little bit, and I just think it's going to be a little bit harder from now on for Swift to be getting all those Swifty points. So he's going to be there at number 15. Number 16, Ramondre Stevenson at New York Giants. A good matchup for the Patriots here, especially running back situation. Stevenson's been playing good all year. Elliott actually had a couple good games so far this year, and this is another one where the Patriots are just going to be running a lot of the ball. They're having issues throwing the ball clearly, and it's definitely opened the door for Stevenson. So at New York, I'll definitely put him up there at number 16. Number 17, Jahmyr Gibbs at home against Green Bay. This man could be a lot higher than 17. I'm putting him there because him and Montgomery split carries. They both do a phenomenal job. However, at some point, they're gonna, since there's two of them, they're not gonna get as much points every single week. So as much as I like to say they will, I think Gibbs is gonna be right there at 17 against a bad Green Bay defense. So he has a lot of upside. Number 18, Jerome Ford at Denver. He's going to be a solid right there at number 18. Jerome Ford's been putting up a very solid amount of points. He's like a little mini Nick Chubb. So he gets a solid amount of solid amount of carries and yardage every single game. It's a matter of him getting in the end zone or not, which definitely can happen against the number 32 defense against running Denver. So definitely a good week for Jerome Ford. Number 19, James Conner, is going to be at home against the Rams. The Rams do have a good defense. Conner is coming back off an injury. He played last week. He did all right, but it's going to be a tougher matchup there against the Rams. So he's going to be there at number 19. Don't expect him to go crazy, but he's definitely going to put up some James Conner points. Number 20, Alexander Mattison at home against Chicago. Great matchup for him. This is another guy who can actually surpass, that 20 spot for sure. But I'm still going to put him there at number 20 just because of how this offense is running with Joshua Dobbs. So Mattison at 20 is not bad. He's definitely getting points. Minnesota's using him. They are starting to use Ty Chandler a little bit more. So it takes a little bit away from Mattison, and that's another reason why he's down there at number 20. Number 21, we're going to Jaylen Warren at Cincinnati for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm putting him over Najee Harris just because he's simply more elusive. He catches way more passes, which in fantasy really does matter. And I think he's on the upside as far as the Steelers and his usage there. So he's definitely going to be solid there at number 21. Number 22, we're going to David Montgomery. That's going to be the other side of Jahmyr Gibbs. And against Green Bay, 22 against running backs in fantasy. It's going to be a very good day for them both. So look for them both to be getting a lot of points. Number 23, Gus Edwards for the Baltimore Ravens at the Chargers. It's going to be a good matchup for him. Gus Edwards had, I believe, 2 touchdowns and like 100 yards, something like that, last week. So he's doing very good, putting up a lot of points there. Baltimore's using him a lot, and especially with Mark Andrews out now, they're definitely going to be looking for him closer in the red zone kind of area and look for him to be high up there. Another guy who can surpass his ranking that I have him at. But again, Lamar Jackson, he can do anything he wants to do. He might run the ball more than Edwards. So we will see how that plays out. But against the Chargers, it's a very good matchup. Number 24, we're going to James Cook at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is number 1 against the rush right now, which is not good for James Cook. James Cook has been the most inconsistent running back so far this year, as the Bills have been one of the most inconsistent teams. So I think it's going to be tough for James Cook to get much points against Philadelphia, in Philadelphia, let alone. So he's going to be down there at number 24. He'll still get points, but nothing crazy. And that brings me to last but not least, number 25. we're going with Kyren Williams coming off the IR today, and he is, or I should say this week. So he's going to be coming in at Arizona, who's number 30 against running backs, and their defense all around is not good. So Kyren Williams, this is a great week for him to come back and really show off what he can do, because we've seen what he can do before. He's not Christian McCaffrey or Derrick Henry, any Saquon Barkley, nothing like that, but he definitely is a solid running back in fantasy. So look for him there at number 25. And that's going to do it for our Week 12 running back rankings. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and have a great weekend.